Hello, my name is Nathan and I'm the creator of Sydney the Songcat. Today I'm going to be responding to a comment from Dinero Rapido, who just left a comment. More about you. So, there are two things that I'm really excited to show you. One of them is I'd love to show some of the shows that I've worked on, and I'm really curious if any of you have seen them. We'll get to that. And I want to show you my cat, of course. But before we get to that, before I do, if you have questions, if you have ideas for future videos, things that you want to see, questions about animation or about this character in specific, I'm happy to answer them. Leave a comment below. But first, we need to get to the cat reveal. Okay, here she is. This is Bella. This is my cat and much of the inspiration for the attitude of Sydney the Songcat. Okay, so that's the cat inspiration for Sydney the Songcat. We had to get that out of the way first. But some of the other inspirations, some of the other ways that Sydney the Songcat came about is that, well, I love musicals. I think if I was not an animator, I would want to be in theater somehow. The magic of set design, like creating elaborate backgrounds and props and all of that kind of stuff that help transport viewers into a different world, and creative problem solving that happens to make something in theater beautiful and believable. I love that. But I also love the way music communicates. And so that's part of why Sydney is a singing cat. Okay, and it's not just musicals that I like, but just music in general. I mean, I work on a computer most days, and for years I worked as an illustrator where I could just, put in headphones and listen to music all day. So I have a lot of space in my life to listen to music, and it's part of it's part of what inspires me. All right, so I like cats, I like music, and of course I love animation. I've been working as an animator for almost 20 years now, and I've had the chance to work on a lot of different shows. Here we go. This is some of the shows that I worked on. Let me know in the comments below if you grew up watching or if you watch any of these. I'd love to know. I'd be really curious. Some of the highlights from these here might be a Ruby Gloom. It was very early on in my career that I worked on that and loved that show. Guess with Jess, my first chance at animating in 3D. And of course, I got to animate a cat, so I was thrilled. Grassology, Casa Grandes, even a little tiny bit on Clone High and the new Paw Patrol spin-off. So anyway, these are some of the things that I've worked on, and each time I work on a new show, I take a skill or I take a bit of timing, a lesson learned from that show, and I've been putting them in my animation toolkit for years, and it's kind of what's allowed me to kind of branch out and try doing something on my own, unrelated to any other kind of show. So we've got cats, music, animation, and finally, I don't have a ton of time, to be honest. I have a family, 3 kids, I work a full-time job, and so focusing my energy on any sort of big or long-term project, quite honest, it's hard for me to do that. I applaud those who can have a full life and still spend their time focused on long bits of animation or episodes or something like that they do in their own time. I needed very short, very quick bits of animation exercises that I could finish in an evening. So once I saw on TikTok that you could pair little short clips of music without getting a copyright strike with bits of animation or movement or lip sync or something like that, it just became the perfect outlet for these tiny animation exercises. So there you have it. That's a little bit more about me and a little bit more of an idea of what was in place and what were the thoughts that led to creating Sydney the Songcat. The perfect outlet for me to express my love of cats and music and animation and combine it all together in these really short kind of creative exercises. anything else that you'd love to know, any other questions that you have, leave them in the comments below, and I'll get to them again in future videos. Let me hear those cartoon shows that you are aware of that I've worked on. I'd love to know where there's overlap in what you've watched and what I've created. It's always fun to find that. Once again, thanks for hanging out, and we'll chat later. Bye. You know, and just in case there were any doubts about my true love for cats, I mean, I'm wearing my cat shirt today. That should put to rest any doubts.